All right, could trouble be brewing in paradise for the Buffalo Bills? Star wide receiver Stefon Diggs not at today's mandatory minicamp practices. Head coach Sean McDermott saying he is very, very concerned that the star wideout was not there for the Bills today. Although reports are that he was at the facility yesterday and today, just not taking part with practices. And are we honestly surprised by this? First of all, diva wide receivers are always going to diva wide receiver. We see this with every wide receiver, it feels like. It goes through this cycle almost every single time. But honestly, Diggs had a series of frustrated tweets talking about how he's not okay that they're not playing up to the level after getting trounced in the AFC divisional round by the Cincinnati Bengals 27-10. He had an awful game. You could see video of him voicing his frustrations with quarterback Josh Allen on the sideline. Everything kind of blew up with this, and it kind of got lost in the wash saying, oh, it's just heat of the moment stuff. But now here we are in June, and he was not practicing. He was holding out, and we're told it's not a contract issue. Diggs' agent provided some updates for us saying he was at the facility both Monday and Tuesday, talked to head coach Sean McDermott, got a physical, but chose to leave prior to practice beginning on Tuesday, which is pretty not great. I mean, he's there and he's not working out. He's not participating. And they're saying this does not have to do with his contract. He just signed a massive extension in 2022, 4-year extension, tying him to the Bills. It was $102 million contract, $70 million fully guaranteed, part of that wide receiver carousel we saw of getting these fat contracts. So it's not a contract issue. It's a personal issue. It's a football issue. Kind of Josh Allen provided some updates saying it's not necessarily football. It's some other stuff going on. Football might be part of it, but there's a lot of communication stuff. And it seems like there's a lot of dysfunction within this organization as far as communication, teamwork, that. Now, Diggs is a high kind of guy. There was a lot of rocky rumors coming out of Minnesota before he forced his way out of there. Some said it was Kirk Cousins. Others saying it was head coach Mike Zimmer. And Sean McDermott, old crusty defensive guy, kind of makes sense. The offense was pretty awful without Brian Dable last year, and Diggs was feeling it. He was feeling it. They were bad down the stretch. There was little consistency. Now, since coming to Buffalo, Diggs has been fantastic. Over 1,200 yards in each of his 3 seasons. He leads the NFL in receptions over that time. And honestly, one of the most even trades in NFL history. It worked out to Stefon Diggs for Justin Jefferson. Now, Diggs in the short term, Jefferson in the long term, probably. That's what we can expect. But the Bills were in win now mode. Vikings maybe weren't quite up to that par yet. So it was a very even trade when it started. But man, some about wide receivers, they just feel like they're always a ticking time bomb. Diggs is 29 years old, but he's still in the prime of his career. He's still putting up very productive numbers. We do know receivers tend to start falling off at this 30 age mark, so he's feeling it. And who can blame him? He's probably very frustrated. It's really hard. Since 2017, he's lost in the divisional round 3 times in both conference championship games. That's a really hard pill to swallow when you are as hungry as he is to win a championship. You see your career, you see your window closing, and you're just not getting it done, and you're getting close, but not ultimately to where you want to be. Obviously, we saw that famous photo of him watching the Chiefs celebrate their AFC title game. He stayed on the field heading to the Super Bowl, and the Bills have fallen short. They were the anointed team last season. It didn't work out for them. They really got embarrassed at home against the Bengals, absolutely slaughtered, and it's really caused some commotion. Now, the problem is Diggs' contract is so punitive. You cannot ship him out of town, even if he is out of it, checked out. He loves Josh Allen, but maybe he does not believe in the Bills' philosophy offensively. So he's due $14 million as a cap hit this year. He'll be getting $24 in cash. He's a $45.5 million dead cap. You cannot get rid of him. That is so punitive. No team can take that dead cap money on. And honestly, he's probably prohibited from next year getting moved on $31 million in dead cap. I mean, the only way I could see that working out is if the Bills are blowing it up, they do not achieve what they need to, and they just start hard selling off pieces and trying to regroup, reload with Josh Allen at quarterback, and maybe not. Maybe they look to move on from Josh Allen. I highly doubt it. This is a franchise that hasn't had a good quarterback since Jim Kelly. They really need stability at that position. Quarterback wins in the NFL. Everybody else is just icing on the cake to build towards a Super Bowl champion. You got to start with the quarterback. So I wouldn't see them moving on from Josh Allen. But yeah, very unlikely the Bills are going to be able to move on from Stefon Diggs. But Stefon Diggs seems to always be kind of a ticking time bomb. He's one of those wide receivers. Hopefully this doesn't play out into a long-term holdout and disrupt Buffalo. He has talked about being willing to rejoin, his old squad in Minnesota, not like they have any room at receiver for him, but it's just funny to think about because he wants to play with a young offensive head coach. I think he's sick and tired of being stuck with defensive guys. He really wants some offensive pieces that are creative, and that's the trend in today's NFL. So hopefully this doesn't last long term. Otherwise, this could be a major impact for a team that is still a top-tier contender in the AFC. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Diggs going to hold out long term? Will he be playing for the Bills this year? Or somehow, some way, do they find a way to move him out of town? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.